starts the same as that word commit that I used? Yeah, so commit, community, and communion all start the same. They all remind us that we are in this together, We don't do it alone. Now today is Worldwide Communion Sunday, which is a reminder that we don't just belong to this little community here, do we? Okay, we know that right down the street there's some Lutherans. Now what are they doing this morning? They're doing communion. And how about the Catholics down at St. John Vianney's? Are they doing communion today? Yes, they are. It's a Methodist over there in Elm Grove. Do you think they're doing communion today? Yes, they are. There's people all around Brookfield doing communion, and there's people in Milwaukee, and there's people all over Wisconsin. There's people all over the world. So, do anybody here that's really good at this, do you think you could find Milwaukee on this map? You can. It's on here. Yeah, can you find? Okay. I think you can find Milwaukee. There's Wisconsin. Can you read that word right there? Okay, see where Milwaukee is? Okay. Right there. Now, Milwaukee is just a little dot on this map, isn't it? Okay? It's just a little itty-bitty dot. Huh? It's really big for real, but if it's really big for real, only on this map, it's just a little itty-bitty dot. That leaves a whole lot of world, doesn't it? Can you think of Milwaukee? It seems pretty big. Brookfield seems pretty big, doesn't it? But when we look at the map, we realize we're a little tiny part of something that's really gigantic. And people all over this do the same thing, yeah. Yep. Down south of the equator, there's people in South America who are doing communion right this very minute. There are people over here in Europe and in Africa and in Asia who did it a little earlier because they're ahead of us in time. They're already sleeping right now while we do communion. All over the world, people are doing this communion together. Now, we do some things when we do communion. I have some stuff up here. Okay. When we take communion together, this is like, it's sort of like, what did I compare it to? Communion is kind of like a celebration. Or it's a celebration, but it's sort of like a funeral celebration, isn't it? Because it's got a happy part. We're all together. What are we doing? We're remembering Jesus. This is about remembering, isn't it? Okay, it's about remembering Jesus, and we remember happy that Jesus loves us. I've got a little button show, but it's also a little bit sad because Jesus can't walk into the room right now, can he? If we did, we can't be here with us in person right now. So it's a little bit happy and it's a little bit sad. And we eat some things and we drink some things. Now, what do we eat? Bread. And why do we eat bread? Do you remember why bread? Why did Jesus choose bread to signify who he is?
Because it's kind of like his skin.
Okay, he said, this is like my body, isn't it? He said, this is my body. But why bread? Why bread? It doesn't taste like, maybe he should use chicken.
Bread is made of wheat, and it's to remember that Jesus made food for us to eat.
We eat bread which is made of wheat, which reminds us that God gives us good things to eat, and bread is something that we eat